Hello, my friends. It's your friend Kevin, and I thought I would give you a little insight into this week's card deck that I've chosen, um, and I guess a little lesson in my process. Every week, I get guided to choose a deck of cards to do the outlook, um, and I took a bit of a step back this week because I was guided to use Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray with images by Lily Moses. And this is considered, or at least it, I was a bit intimidated by this deck of cards when I first got it. My initial thought was this is going to be really complicated to learn, but it isn't. It's a deeper dive. And to me, it felt a bit like craft work, working with the different layers of spirituality, angels, ancestors, understanding the difference between the two, symbolism, and of course, the different symbols. And then I suddenly got the inspiration to do a bit of a lesson on what that process is, because oftentimes I've watched, as I'm sure you have, the daily readings from other amazing gifted light workers, psychics, readers, channelers. And what I'm missing is, why did you choose those cards? And I found myself questioning that more. So of course I missed the message because I'm in the questioning, what made you use those cards? How did you get that from that card? And then I got the big aha moment. Well, maybe you should explain your process to help others maybe open up their own way of using cards, because I don't think this is that complicated. It just requires an openness to it, a willingness to learn it. Trying to think. Yeah, a willingness and an openness and just being heartful to want to do it. So before I go into the 7 days from the 13th and 19th, I'm just going to explain these cards and what they mean. All right, so let's go into there. That's camera. Okay, so all right, so we've got the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. This comprises of 4 sections. One section are the wise ones. Let me section this out. So these would be what I would consider to be ancestors. Medicine mother, father in the sky, the seer, the hunter, hermit. They're all considered ancient ancestral beings. These images are so beautiful, that have walked the earth, that know what it's like to walk on this plane, in our shoes, at different times in life. And then we have the guardians, which, to be honest, to me are almost like the angelic ones. And this group bring actual direction, the direction with which we should be headed in. The animal garden, trusting your instinct. Animals are very instinctive. Earth guardian, stay grounded, stay rooted, be connected to the earth. I mean, they're all pretty straightforward. Guardian angel, you're not on your own, you're not by yourself. The spirit world has got your back and they're with you. Then we have these symbolic cards: drum, dream and journey, mountains, moon, sun, eagle, snake, stag, the spirit fox. And then of course we have our 4. Is there? No, there's the broken arrow is a symbol. The 4 seasons: summer, autumn, winter, spring. Just real quick, if I'm doing a weekly spread, and I'm bringing up one day you've got, we'll just say for the sake of argument, I don't know, Wednesday might be autumn. All right, so autumnal energy has the energy of releasing and letting go of old or the year's stuff, going through some things, letting go of some things. Whereas spring is about preparing. So this one would be about time to think about wrapping this up, time to think about putting the lid on it, if that makes sense. Winter is self-care, healing, nurturing, thinking, a time for rest, a time for hibernation, a time for taking a step back, if that makes sense. So these elements, or I'm sorry, these seasons have elements and meaning to them. And then of course, you know, Broken Arrow is in here. Embrace the energy of peace. Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. Spirit Fox, I love the Spirit Fox. It's just quite a mischievous. Stag, Snake. Then of course you've got these other ones: Sun and Moon, Mountains, and the Drum. So that might seem, so you can see why I got a bit intimidated by pulling these together. However, what I will say, this deck, as opposed to the other Oracle decks I use, for me, has that layer of creativity that lets me step in and stretch my metaphysical talents or my metaphysical beliefs, or lets the spirit world come in and be like, yes, try this, try that. I get my intuitive muscle stretched a bit more with these. Now, that's not to say one deck is particularly attractive to people than others. It's just I'm guided to use these today, and this is the reason why. There are 55 cards in this particular deck. Traditional Oracle cards have 44 cards in the deck, so a few more, not as many as 78. I hope this has been helpful. Please write down your comments. Let me know if, you know, doing a little bit of a prep work, letting you know what my insight is for choosing the cards. Because I like to not just to be inspirational, but informative and really educational. I think when we learn something that gives us an aha moment, it's a good time to share it, including all the bumpiness. Because, you know, I used to say that we're not perfect. Yeah, no, I don't believe that. I think we all are perfect. I do believe we're born perfect. What we have is perfect. And there is always room to improve on perfection. There's always room to expand and gather. There's always room to do more. Now, there's some things we do not quite perfectly, not quite right, but we do it with the intention of getting it perfect. Practice. All right, my loves. Stay tuned for the week's Oracle deck reading outlook, whatever you want to call it. Until then, I love you.